Hello, it's me. I was wondering if after all these years
Mental health. It's a tricky topic. It's something that, as guys, it's difficult to, talk about. Usually with, our counterparts, they already have this close bond with each other that if anything goes wrong, there's always that big sister mentality. One could always come up and say, "Yo, what's wrong?" But with boys, it's kind of different because society has almost taught us to be strong, to live without tears, to live without fear. So everything, you find yourself in this bubble of pain and hurt by yourself, and there's no one that you can reach out to, which sometimes can be very, very difficult.
Especially Africans, how to cope, with mental issues. One of the things I learned actually was that mental health was one of the easiest problems to deal with. The reason that it becomes a problem here is because we try to hide them. We don't take the necessary action that are needed when we begin to discover, what is happening. And in that interview that I did, they were actually adducing the problems of mental health to the kind of work that we do. Usually the degree of pressure that people go through as academics, especially when you have to turn in publications either for promotion or even if for nothing, that you have a deadline. Those kind of pressures that people go through were part of the thing that were bringing mental health to academics. Recently, there was a case like that but I shouldn't mention because we're too close. But the moment, and that guy is someone I knew very, very well, in fact, we used to know. When I had that thing came back to my mind, the interview came back to my mind. Here are people who are, and our own case in Nigeria is worse because we work under very terrible conditions, right? The pay is peanuts, okay? And yet, the pressure that you go through on a daily basis, but we are very lucky here. I used to help them, in fact, I'm helping, I told you I'm going to do something with students. A class of almost 100 students taking a course in food production. Now that is even small. When I used to visit there, I would have like 200 students in a class. How do you conduct assessment? How do you mark exams and all that? These are all the problems that will crush you, right? So
I'm Samuel Akpe, 400 level student, mass communication at Bingham University, and the president of the mass communication department. Usually for mental health, in terms with leadership, it's something that I don't think is talked, well enough about. It's something that, especially for young people, can be very, very tricky. I'm the president, okay? The society, your community, your mates, your peers, they already have this perfect image of you, straight A student, everything's working at home, you're just this perfect model that everybody, wants to be. But the harsh reality is that more often than not, it's not actually like that. Sometimes different issues can arise, be it stress, be it grief, depression, and sometimes as a leader, you don't even have that opportunity to take a step back and heal or take care of yourself. You just have to rely on those that are around you, because you don't have a second to step away from your duties. More often than not, you just have to be there. What's on your mind is, I have stuff to do the next day, so I just have to dust myself up, get back up, and see how everything works out. Growing up, things weren't that easy. Of course, you're the boy, the weird boy, light skin, I actually started wearing glasses at the age of 2. So automatically people look at you different. You're automatically the nerd in the class. Although it just attracted a lot of bullying, which at a young age just put me mentally and emotionally off. There were many a times where I'd go report to my teachers, and my mom would be worried, and she'd say, "Look, you're special. Don't mind them and everything." But I thought that they were just being kids, because in all honesty, they were just being kids, but they were also sowing seeds for future, mental lapses to come. So obviously, when you talk of mental health, it's a broad topic that covers so much, but I think you can't talk about mental health without talking about depression, which is something that I'm not afraid to say it, I have gone through it at points in my life. The first time was way back in 2015. I just changed schools and new environment, new people. So I switched from day to boarding. And as someone like me, obviously wearing glasses back then, I know things are a little bit different now, but back then it made you an easy target. And an easy target I was. I moved from class to class. I didn't have any real friends. I'd struggle to fit in anywhere, honestly. I remember begging my parents to get me out of the school, but they just thought I was making up excuses and whatnot. But in fairness, it was hard. I hated coming back home, like coming back to school. I just, every time we had a holiday, I wanted it to last that much longer, because I didn't feel like I even mattered. I didn't feel like I existed. And slowly it started to take a toll on me. I was out of it in class. I was, a toll on me. And then when I couldn't take it anymore, I attempted suicide. Yeah, I did. I tried, at least. Sometimes it's not about the execution, but for your mind to go to such depths that you're ready to just put everything to rest, it's crazy, because at that moment you can't really think of much else, or you're just thinking about, I just want to end this pain. And that was all, honestly, I could think about. I felt like no one was listening to me. I knew a quick solution to my problems, and no one really cared. I was invisible anyway, so who would stop me? And then I hang. I can't remember what it was. I don't think I want to. But then just as I was about to execute my plan, my teacher walks in, and she's terrified. She's terrified, she's frightened by what she sees, and she pulls me away. And normally as a Nigerian child, you're expecting to be castigated, to be probably slapped or beaten, and then she pulled me into her arms and hugged me tightly. And she said, "It's going to be alright." She took me into her office, said a prayer, and then she let me know that I was special. I was different. I didn't need to worry about anyone's validation or, company. And she assured me that everything was going to be alright. I guess with time, it kind of got better. So, moving on with my life from that moment, I wanted to be in control, of everything going on around me, and that's when I said, "Hey, you should get into some leadership positions." I was tired of being that timid, shy kid. the one that everyone pushed around. So I said, you know what, I'll go for it. And I think it was my SS2, and I ran for a position, sports prefect back then, primary, my secondary school, and I did win. I never forget the day that the results were announced. It was one of the happiest days of my life. It felt like I had, crossed, that I've broken an invisible barrier that I didn't even know existed. And from there, in terms of leadership, I realized I had this natural, knack for, making decisions, whether high pressure or low pressure decisions, for, directing people around, for making policies. I just really wanted to be in a high position where I could make the lives of everyone around me better, because I genuinely, saw myself as a very creative person. And then I was said, you know what, why not go out there and share your ideas with everyone and try and see how you could implement them instead of just, keeping it cooked up. And so I did. Secondary school, down to university, Bingham University, 100 level, class rep, 200 level, class rep, 300 level, I became the president, and I can get vice president actually, and it was quite a journey for me. I felt like, okay, if you told me 5 years from now, before rather, that I'm going to be, vice president of a department, I would have probably laughed, at you. But seeing the journey actually made me reflect, and just made me echo the words that my teacher said to me back then, that I am special, and anything that I thought of could actually make it come to life. But the thing is, as I said before, as a leader, sometimes it doesn't mean that you're immune to some of the things that everyone goes through. Sometimes people say, oh, you're a leader, so you're not supposed to be like this. But at the end of the day, I'm a human being. And even when I thought, okay, I had seen the last of depression and mental health issues, then the unexpected happened.
It's hard.
It's always hard, but yeah. My 300 level was actually 200 level was a bit difficult for me. We're just coming back from COVID, lockdown, and I know that was a period of time that mental health was really highlighted around the world. And coincidentally, it was a time when I was battling my past demons. And obviously coming back to school, I really anticipated coming back to school. I wanted to be around people, I wanted to be around my friends. So I felt like whatever was brewing inside me wouldn't, come out if I was surrounded by positive thinking people. So we got back to school, everything's okay the first month, and then somewhere during the second month, I started to unravel. I wake up upset every morning. Sometimes I'll head out to, we'd have an 8 a.m. class, and I'd head off to class by like 6:45 just to be alone for like an hour or two before classes start. And it was difficult because even the people that I trusted the most to be there for me, kind of bailed. So it was really, really tough. And then at this point, I'm there and I'm praying and I'm like, Lord, I don't want to go back into this again because I know how it feels. I'm just like, just send someone, anyone. And then she arrived. For someone that didn't grow up having much friends, having one person, meeting one person that you really connect with on another level, having someone in your life that you share a bond with, that at times you feel like is so unbreakable. Sometimes when you enjoy good things so much, you feel like it never comes to an end. And just when I had started to lose myself, Well, let's just say God answered my prayers. And I met this very, very lovely human being. It was almost like at the right time too, because I remember it was on a weekend where I was really down and I felt really alone, you know. And the following day we had this presentation in class, a very weird presentation where we all had to wear black. And then I remember stepping into the class and I couldn't take my eyes off this strange person that I was seeing for the first time. I remember I was like, who is
I remember
this?
when she even came to class for the first time, someone just tapped me. Who's that fine girl? And I was like, oh my god, Samuel, calm down. And
then after the class, I followed, you know, from a distance. I was like, I really want to know who this is. Unfortunately, I didn't get to know that day. So I kept going out this following day and then the day after that, and then eventually we bumped into each other. And then she walks up to me. Genuinely, I thought I was the one that was going to walk up, you know, because I'm quite the shy type. So she walks up to me and she's like, hi, my name's Jada, Revival. And I'm like, oh, what a weird name. And then we laugh. And then there are moments in time that everything just feels right. This wasn't, oh, I have romantic feelings for this person. This is genuinely someone that I love, like she's my blood, and I just want to take care of her and be there for her. And over time the relationship grew, became almost inseparable. And then, you know, even while we were on our internship, we would call and text and she would tell me how it was going. And then maybe if she had issues, she would talk to me. And I can never forget, there was this one time we had a fight for about 2 weeks. We didn't speak to each other. I didn't really understand what was going on. And then, you know, at the end of those 2 weeks, I was quite upset. So I said, you know what, I'm not a kid. I'm going to go talk to her. And I did. I went and I was like, yo, I don't like what's going on. You know, I want to talk to you. And she's like, oh no, why don't you go talk to your friends? And it was then I realized, oh, this wasn't a fight. She just really wanted me around, and I couldn't see that me being with other people at the time when she needed me most wasn't helping. And then she said to me, she said, look, I know that genuinely, yeah, I'm friendly to lots of people, and, you know, but in this environment, after my own sister, you're the next person I care about the most, so be careful and be there, okay, because I need you. And I never forgot about those words. It just kept our relationship even stronger and stronger and stronger. I remember even 2022, on May 6th, a couple of days before my birthday. My birthday is on the 8th. May bodies.
Yay!
And then we talk, and then we're talking about, because we watched a lot of series together, and we're talking about Stranger Things, and there's a new season coming out, and she's so excited, and we're chatting, and then she's like, I love you very, very much. And I said, I love you too.
I miss you. And again, I miss school also too.
And she was your friend?
Yeah, my best friend. And if I'd known that that would be the last conversation we would have, I would have probably said I love you a million times. And a couple of days after my birthday, you know, I didn't hear from her on my birthday, which was weird because I sent her a text and it didn't even deliver. I was worried. I was like, okay, maybe it's data. And here I am on the 15th. I'm about to eat dinner because at that time I'd broken my leg going for IT. It was quite crazy. I know some people say, oh, you should have just stayed at home. I just didn't want to be alone. And I go have dinner and I'm about to eat for the first time in the day because for some reason I didn't eat throughout. And I get this call from my predecessor, my past president. She's like, yo, Samuel, what's going on? I'm like, I'm fine. She's like, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm fine. What's going on? She's like, are you hearing what's happening? I'm like, what's happening? What's happening? And she's like, Jada's dead. I instantly forget I had an appetite. And with my crutches, I just go up to my room and I kept calling and calling. And it didn't go through. But the hard part about being a leader, I didn't even have time to sit down and think about myself. I was like, okay, I'm vice president, I have to tell my niece. Even though she was my best friend, I didn't have time to sit down and think about how.
Are you okay, Samuel? But
and then I go to my group chat and I'm like, yo guys, I remember it was the hardest voice notes I've ever had to record in my life. Because I couldn't believe it. I spoke to her sister and I was just praying that she was going to say it was a lie. And I texted her so many times.
I miss you.
Nothing. And her sister texts back and she's like, yeah, she's with God now. And at that moment, nothing made sense. Everything that I had fought to overcome, mental health, everything went down the drain. No, it feels like to be so alone for so long in your life and then have that one person that really gets you, that really understands you, ripped away from you. And there's no one that knows where you're going. And then I sent a message to my mates. I just dropped my phone. And I cried for so long because it didn't make any sense. I remember even texting her number and be like, yo, I've heard about stories of people that come back from the dead, come back to me, and obviously I knew that wasn't going to happen. But as a leader, everyone expects you to be so strong. So the next day I'm up typing the memo to send to the whole department. I'm up planning our candlelight when I'm her best friend and I can't even breathe because I'm a leader and mental health, it works differently for me.
That night, I cannot really remember the date of last year. So I think I was asleep and then my brother brought my phone to me and Saba was on the phone. I couldn't really hear clearly because I was just waking up from sleep. I was trying to get the voice on the other side of the call and then I saw the name and the sound. So I was like, oh, I can't hear you, and then I started hearing sobs as he was crying. It was surprising because this is somebody I've never seen cry. He has told me things about himself, but he never really spoke about crying in all those times and all that. he was crying and I was alarmed. I was like, so what happened to this point? And then he told me that maybe had passed. And I didn't even know how to feel, honestly. I was devastated, but at the same time I just knew that I had to be strong for him, because I mean it was a sad moment, but it was more sad for him because he saw someone he was really, 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 really close to. And I didn't even know what to say to him. I just kept telling him that he had to try to be like strong, and it's like, okay, I was just going to call him back because I couldn't even process the whole thing. That period for him was really, it wasn't the best period for him. I mean, so how like it took a long time for him to like be Samuel again. I mean, out of the whole sadness. And, I mean, when you lose someone so close to you, it's like, what's the way from here? I mean, we got to this point almost together, and then yeah, suddenly gone, that kind of feeling. So I won't think that was how it felt, because it was really bad. And then around that same period, I think he had a dislocation of his leg and all that. So it was just really weighing down on me, because this used to be someone that was always there to listen to him. I mean, I think they had like a lot in common. I won't say I was jealous, but it's something that you could see when you like see them together, and all that. They had so much in common, and all of a sudden life just happens and takes this person away. Well, I must say he's quite strong. He's quite strong, because I mean, at some point he won the battle of sadness and depression.
Alright, so I heard about Brett's death from a voice note that someone sent on the group chats, and I didn't know how I was feeling about it myself. So I really do not know how someone was really feeling about it. And I remember reaching out to him, and naturally, when someone loses someone, I prefer just moving to the side for a while before I talk, but I could not just hold this one, because I knew how close someone and Remy was. They were like this. They had so many things in common. I felt like he was even carrying her over me because of how close we were, and then because of how close they were, it felt like I was fighting the her with him. Because of how close we were, they had so many things in common. Every time she comes to class, where's Samuel? How is Samuel doing? It became so, I don't know, but once I just heard about it, I didn't know how to react, and I didn't know how to cheer Samuel on. But to be honest, I was very strong about it. Even though some days he would come to our DMs and be like, I don't think I can do this again, but he still carried his head high. Like, I remember the time that there was like a little argument about something, and then we didn't talk to her, but someone still spoke to her, and just because of how close they were, he still spoke to her. Even if he was vexed about the whole thing, he still spoke to her, and they even became closer than even when they first met. Because I remember when she even came to class for the first time, someone just tapped me like, who is that fine girl? And I was like, oh my god, Samuel, calm down. And then since then, I think they just carried themselves together. Like, in fact, they used to call them twins. I remember very clearly. Every time we go to the big and be like, Remy, is this your brother? And both of them were like, yeah. It was very sad. So I'm just happy that he was able to carry himself, even with everything that he was going through during that period. His leg and so many other things. I was so surprised on how he still moved on. Even if it was me, oh Lord, goodness, that it would take like, I don't know, a very long time to walk. He still carried himself very strong. But the fact that he occupied himself with his work when he was in his IT, like, he really, really tried.
Okay, so I remember that night I was just on my phone. Then the next time, so someone was calling me. I was like, why is he calling me and stuff like that. It's not like he don't talk to me. I was like, why is he calling me? Then I picked up and he was like crying. I was like, what's exactly going on? What's wrong? It took him some time before he said it. Then now he told me what had happened, and I didn't believe that was like in severe shock. I thought that maybe it was maybe something else. I maybe just misread the whole situation. I didn't believe it at first. He now told me that she had actually like passed. At first, my asked him was that, is he okay? Like, because I knew how both of them were really close. Like, she came into his life and she didn't leave that easily. She was always there with him. Like, at some point, I was actually getting like a little bit jealous somehow, because like I knew they were always together and I used to always walk with her and stuff like that. But she just came and took over and stuff. It was really shocking for me, because I've never had somebody like really close to me that I don't know how to deal with people's passing and stuff like that. But somehow took it head on. I remember that in the beginning period of time, it was really hard for him. Most times he wouldn't want to talk, he wouldn't want to communicate with anybody, he just felt down. But he was still, not like he was completely distant himself from the world, he still wanted to be with people, he still wanted to know how people's lives were going and stuff like that. And his leg was broken again at that period of time, so many things were just doing him. But he went strong. I mean, if it was me, I would have broken down. I don't think I would still be okay up to now. But how true. She'll be missed, to be very honest. She'll be missed. I didn't really know her that well. I remember her because she really comes to class and she was how much friend, and she spoke to me. Like, it was when we started getting close, then unfortunately she passed. Life, honestly, life is just, you think you have all the time in the world, then next thing someone is dead, next thing someone is no longer dead. But yeah, everything happens for a reason, and thank God that everybody else is still alive.
And I'll tell you that leaders, celebrities, we're all people. We have feelings, we have emotions, we have people we love. So when we lose them, it hurts us just as much as it hurts everyone else. Getting over, to be honest, I wouldn't say till today I'm still over it. But getting better, what I would say is something that obviously I didn't get to do alone. You know, I keep telling people, the thing about mental health, the thing about grief, about depression, all of that, is that you just have to select the right people to be around you at that time.
I love him very much.
You know, and when I say that, people think, oh, your friends are your go-to people, but no. I mean, you can have friends that don't really understand. It's different with mental health. You know, your friend might not understand, but hey, there might be this person that might have passed through what you're passing through that gets it, you know, and you have to go relate to them. And I did. I was lucky to work, you know, have my IT somewhere that had such understanding people. I remember going to work the next week and my mood was just down. Like, oh, what happened? I lost my best friend. Over time, they'd come check up on me, talk to me, you know, and assure me that despite everything, she deserves to rest. You know, she was someone that went through a lot, especially with sickle cell anemia and everything, but she was definitely someone that, in retrospect, I think she's resting genuinely. And it will take you some time to come to terms with grief, but when you do, I promise you there's that relief that comes with it, that nothing can buy, no amount on earth. And also having the right people around you, like I said, they keep pushing you to be, back to normal. They keep giving you positive vibes, filling your DMs with positive words. Nobody wants to hear someone come and say, you should get over her now, or, oh, I thought you should have been over this by now, or, which was what most of my friends told me. And I did have this one person that came up to me and said, I don't expect you to be done by now. Just take your time and know that there are people here for you to make you happy. And at the end of the day, when it comes to mental health, when it comes to depression, we say it like it's a joke, but now in this part of the world, some people might say, oh, she's just looking for attention. But to be honest, yeah, I am. I want to know that there are people there for me that genuinely care about me. I want to see me do good. In your darkest times, even if it's one ray of hope, it's enough for you to cling on to. It's enough for you to pull yourself out of that well. And me being better off than I was 5, 6, 8 months ago is genuinely, down to me hanging on to those tiny threads and rays of hope from people that genuinely wanted to see me do better.
You asked me how to deal with it. Of course, I've been dealing with it in my own best way. You see me, so I enjoy my life. Come to my house anytime. You see me doing the things I like to do. I enjoy my life. When I feel stressed, I know how to have a good life. I take long walks when I need to. I sleep when I need to. Basically, as I said, I don't sleep much. But I do many other things that if I would in the back of my house. I have a small generator house that provides a shade for me. If you come to my house in the evening, then you see what happening.
One thing leads to the other. So if you are not taking your health seriously, it may degenerate to a point where you could have such kind of problems that are mentally related. So I think on the whole, we don't just wake up. Let me not generalize, but let me say most people, including myself, don't just wake up on a good day to just go check themselves. Until when you begin to feel some kind of things that you feel something is not right, maybe in your head, in your general body, or maybe in any other part of your body, before you feel like, okay, it's high time I go check maybe my blood pressure.
Being in a position of, you've gone through mental health challenges before actually kind of helps you interact with other people better. It helps you judge situations better. For me, if I see someone that's normally happy acting out or having a mood swing, or if I just see someone alone, I don't think with everything I've been through, I just walk by. I usually go around, even if it's someone I don't know. Sometimes that's all it takes. I just go and I put my hand on their shoulder and I'm like, are you okay? I make sure to ask more than once because the default answer is always yes. But there's a saying that you can always tell the true story of a person through their eyes. And it's something I've learned into genuinely. So as a leader, class rep, president, when I interact with my peers, when I interact with my fellow colleagues, both at my level and lower level, I make sure that if there's anything wrong, I get involved. Everyone faces their challenges today. Not everyone knows how to overcome them. So sometimes if you can lend a helping hand, no matter how small, it could go very, very long way.
Right, so with how long I've known someone has always been a leader. Since I think it was just two that we became close. At least and the way he's been carrying himself, man, he's been very strong, very, very strong. Like with every single thing, even minus the previous step, everything that's happened to him, he has carried himself so high. Like you will not even know that something has happened to him because of how he's carried himself. Now that he's the president, I think it's even more said. Like he's always joyful. You always see him smiling. I don't think you'll never see him down, and he will always make sure that you're never down. If he sees you down, he will go to you, talk to you, make sure you smile, make sure you laugh. He makes sure that you leave his presence happy, and that's one thing I really love about him.
So Samuel was obviously a leader. No matter what he does, he always wants to take charge because he knows that once he takes charge, things move, people move. He just likes being in a position that he can how do I say keep everybody in check. So nobody is misbehaving, nobody is doing too much or anything.
So I definitely say to people out there, when you see someone in a position of authority, don't always judge them because there's a lot that might go on that you might not see, on the surface of it. But I'm not speaking for everyone, but there are genuinely people out there in positions of authority, people in leadership positions that struggle with what goes on in here. And I'll tell you to take it easy on them. I'll tell you to understand them first of all before making comments. Because at times they think that everyone that's a leader has bulletproof skin. Say, this guy or this girl is this and she's this. It's not the case. There might be so many factors. But yeah, it's all about spreading the love, isn't it? And just being there for one another.
I was dancing in the rain, I felt alive and I can't complain. No, take me home where I belong. I got no other place to go. No, take me home where I belong. I got no other place to go.
We love him very much.
Take me home where I belong.
Wait.
But I kept running for a soft place to fall, and I kept running for a soft place to fall. And
I said, it's the little things that matter the most.
And I kept running for a soft place to fall. And I was running far away, would I run of the world someday? But no, take me home where I belong. I got no other place to go. No, take me home where I belong. I got no other place to go. No, take me home.
We love you, cool? Don't worry, we love him very much.